I didn't believe in curses. My grandpa did, though. He used to tell me stories when I was a kid, wild tales of old family relics, superstitions, and odd warnings. I always thought it was just his way of entertaining me, but looking back now, maybe he was trying to prepare me. The day after Christmas, I found it. Grandpa had passed earlier that year, and Mom tasked me with clearing out the attic of his old house. It was freezing up there, the kind of cold that bites through sweaters and into your bones. Dust hung in the air, stirred by every step. I shifted boxes and old furniture, finding little more than moth-eaten books, broken lamps, and tarnished silverware. I was about to give up when I saw it. A shoebox tucked behind a crate in the corner. It didn't look like much. Just a small, battered box covered in yellowed newspaper. When I opened it, I found a cassette tape. There wasn't a label, no indication of what might be on it. Just that black plastic tape with the reels visible through the tiny windows. A weird chill passed over me when I touched it. Not cold. Something worse, like a shadow creeping over my skin. I shrugged it off and tucked it into my coat pocket, along with an old portable tape player I found nearby. I didn't think about it again until New Year's Eve. That night I was alone. Most of my friends were out at parties and my parents were in bed early. I didn't mind. I liked the quiet. There was something peaceful about sitting by yourself when the world was celebrating. I poured myself a drink and stared at the clock. 11:30 p.m. My phone buzzed with messages, friends sending group photos and blurry videos of their parties. I ignored them, focusing instead on the warm hum of the space heater in my room. I noticed the shoebox on my desk then, still where I'd left it a few days before. Curiosity got the better of me. I pulled out the tape and the player, brushed some dust off the buttons, and clicked the cassette into place. My old headphones barely worked, one ear crackling in and out, but I didn't care. I slipped them on and hit play. At first there was nothing, just the faint hiss of static. Then the music started. It was Auld Lang Syne. That familiar, bittersweet melody played on what sounded like an old piano. The recording crackled, as if it had been made decades ago. I leaned back in my chair, letting the nostalgic tune fill my ears. But something felt off. The song played slower than usual, each note dragging as though the piano keys resisted every touch. I frowned, fiddling with the volume. That's when I heard it. Something beneath the music. A voice. It was faint, almost hidden by the piano. But it was there. A man's voice, whispering words I couldn't understand. I strained to hear it, pressing the headphones tighter against my ears. The whisper grew louder, clearer, but the language was strange, guttural and harsh, like nothing I'd ever heard before. My heart began to race. Suddenly, the voice stopped, and the music cut out. Silence. I pulled off the headphones, breathing hard. The room felt wrong. The space heater had turned off, and my breath fogged in the air. I looked at the clock. 11:45 p.m. Weird, I muttered, shaking the player as if that would explain anything. I didn't want to think about what I'd just heard. It was probably just an old tape glitch, a recording error, nothing more. Still, something made me keep listening. I hit play again. This time the piano was gone. Only the whispering remained, louder now. The voice was angry. No, pleading, like someone begging to be heard. I couldn't make out the words, but I knew the tone. The voice rose, faster and faster, until it cut off with a horrible snap. And then the singing began. It wasn't music. It wasn't human. It was a chorus of voices, low, broken, and off-key, chanting Auld Lang Syne. The sound warped and twisted, the melody unrecognizable. I ripped the headphones off and slammed the tape player shut, my hands trembling. That's when I heard it. From somewhere inside the house, a piano was playing. I froze. We didn't own a piano. No one in our family even played. The sound drifted up from downstairs, each note slow and deliberate, just like on the tape. I stood up and grabbed my phone, the screen glowing 11:55 p.m. "Hello?" I called out, my voice shaky. There was no answer, only the piano, growing louder, closer. My skin prickled. I moved to the hallway and looked down the dark stairs. The music was clearer now, echoing through the house. I thought about running outside, but when I glanced at the front door, I saw it. A shadow. It stood on the other side of the frosted glass, tall and still, its head tilted slightly. My throat tightened. I backed away step by step until I hit the wall. The piano stopped. The house fell deathly silent. "Who's there?" I whispered. The shadow moved. It didn't step back or forward. It simply shifted, as though sliding closer to the door without walking. I grabbed the tape player, desperate for anything that felt familiar. The clock on my phone blinked. 11:59 p.m. "Please," I murmured, though I wasn't sure what I was pleading for. I hit play on the tape. The singing returned, but this time, it was clear. A single voice whispered softly in my ear, in perfect, measured English. "Let us in." The front door creaked open. I don't remember what happened after that. I woke up the next morning in my bed, sunlight streaming through the window. My phone buzzed with New Year messages. For a moment, I convinced myself it had been a dream, a trick of an overtired mind. But when I looked at my desk, the tape player was there, the cassette inside. The shoebox was gone. I never told anyone what happened. I tried throwing the tape away, smashing it, even burning it. But every time, it came back. It would show up on my desk, on my pillow, or sometimes in my hand when I woke up. It's New Year's Eve again tonight. The clock reads 11:45 p.m., and outside my window, I hear a piano playing.